Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. So today I have for you the Fenty Eavesdrops. This is a skin tint that I thought I would try on my oily skin, as well as the Bright Fix Eye Brightener Illuminator from Fenty. So I thought I would put these on my oily skin and see how it wears today. I do have my thoughts on these already. I've worn them several times. So if you're interested in these products and how they wear on my mature oily skin, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's start off with the Fenty Eavesdrop. I have this in the color 7, and it says it's a lightweight, buildable, light to medium coverage skin tint that leaves skin looking blurred and smooth in flexible shades for all. The part that I was interested in, it says this Hydroblend Complex and humidity, sweat, and transfer resistant formula has a smooth texture that layers well with primer and all skincare. So with wearing masks, I still wear a mask because my 2 youngest are not vaccinated, and so I want to be an example to them. So I do wear my masks when I'm out with them, even though I am vaccinated. So I thought I would try that. So I do have thoughts on that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to prime my face the way I normally do. For those of you who don't know, I have all this major hyperpigmentation that I always want to cover, and I have oily skin, so I didn't know if the skin tint would work on my face because I do need to cover so much of this. But I thought I would try because in my dreams I can wear this and I don't have any hyperpigmentation, and blurring sounds amazing. But I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Farsali liquid powder like I normally do. And I'm going to take a couple of drops of this, and I'm sad that they might be going out of business. And I'm going to take this and put this on my face, just on my T-zone, because that's where I get the oiliest. Now, my preference for my face is to look luminous but not oily. So I don't necessarily like a matte foundation. So if I do wear matte foundations, I do bring the luminosity back with highlighter and other products. Okay, we're going in with my Tarte Smoothing Primer, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that right there. And I'm gonna put this into my pores. And this is what I normally do for my face with any foundation. So I like to press that in there on my nose and right here where I have texture to smooth out, and I press it in, and this really does help. And I do this for all foundation, just so you guys know. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Fenty Eavesdrop. So I'm going to shake it up. It does come in a package like this, and it's Fenty Beauty. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on the back of my hand. This is the color, and the 7 does work well for me. So I am just going to take this on my foundation brush. I'm using the BK Beauty 101 brush. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes, and I'm just going to stipple that on, and let's just do one half of my face. See, and you can already see that this color is good for me, and it does do a pretty good job of diminishing the look of my hyperpigmentation compared to this side. That side. That side. So let me do a little bit more, put a little bit more on there for my forehead. And this is a light to light, it says light to light medium coverage, and I would say that's accurate. I did try to build it up once and it was a little bit too much. So I'm going to have to rely on concealer to get this covered up. So there it is with one light layer. I like it. And it doesn't feel like I have anything on. Now let's bring you in closer to see if it does have blurring properties. So yeah, it has some blurring properties. I mean, you can still see that I have pores, but I have pores. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. But it does look smooth. So there's that. Now let me go ahead and put it on the rest of my face. Now I wore this for several days already, and I hate to say this, but it's not transfer proof. At least not on my masks. And I did have to wear my mask all day because I was at the dance convention with my daughter, and there were thousands of people there, and she's not vaccinated, so I wanted to be an example to her. Since she had to wear her mask, then I would wear my mask as well. And the crazy thing is, there were so many young people there that were under the age of 12 and nobody was wearing a mask. There were probably a handful of people that were wearing masks, and they were all from our dance studio, at least the younger ones, and just a few others. I was really shocked. Okay, so there it is with one layer, and I think it looks very skin-like. Okay, let's try this, the Fenty Beauty Instant Fix Eye Brightener. I have mine in the color Seashell, and let me put this on for you. And I've tried this as well, and this is the color that I got right there. And it does brighten under the eyes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Rare Beauty concealer brush, take a little bit on there, and put it under my eyes. And the thing with this, oh, I put too much. Let me put some right there. It is brightening, but it doesn't, you can see that it does brighten. And I put too much, so let me wipe some of it off. It does brighten, but it doesn't necessarily cover all of my dark circles. So I put too much on. Let me do this. Okay, then I'm just gonna see. So I do put concealer on under this, but if I didn't have all this hyperpigmentation, I think this would be enough for me just to go out like this. But since I do have major hyperpigmentation, I am going to put more concealer on over this, I should say, because I am going to be wearing a full coverage, or I am going to be wearing concealer on my hyperpigmentation, and so I will put a little more concealer right here under my eyes, but it does brighten up the area. You can see that there. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my favorite concealer. This is the Dior Skin Corrector. I have mine in the color 2N and 3N. You can see here that I've already used a lot of this since I got it last month. Okay, so I'm gonna use the 2N and put just a little bit right there, right here, and right down the middle of my nose. And then I'm going to use the 3N and put this on my areas of hyperpigmentation. And I like to let it sit there a little bit so that it sinks into the skin. It like dries a little bit before I blend it out. So it does a better job of staying on my skin. So put that there. I have some hyperpigmentation there. And cover up this area right here. Okay. And then I'm going back in with my Rare Beauty brush, and I'm just going to blend the concealer under my eyes. Blend that well. And then blend it around my nose. Then I'm taking my Beauty Blender and just kind of pressing that into my under eye and eye area. And that'll help pull the excess that I put on with the eye brightener. Then I'm just going to use this to blend this into my nose or on my nasolabial folds. And then go up onto my eyebrow area. And then onto my chin. Then my cheeks. And I'm going to just lightly blend that in because I do want that to really cover my areas of hyperpigmentation. Doesn't that look good? I think that looks great. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my Huda Beauty Pound Cake, and this is the powder that I normally use to set my hyperpigmentation. So I'm going to get some on my Beauty Blender and then take that in, and with whatever's left over I'm going under my eye and over my eye and then blend the rest of this out. I'm not necessarily baking, but I am making sure that I do have enough powder there to set the concealer. So now on this side. But I don't want heavy caking under my eyes, so I'm just using whatever's left on my Beauty Blender after I put that on my areas of hyperpigmentation. Then I'm going to take some and put that around my nose, because that's where it always breaks up, and around my laugh lines, because I don't want it to sink into my laugh lines. And then some right here on my forehead. So I'm really making sure I get the T-zone real well. Okay, let me bring you in closer so you can take a look. This is what it looks like. Look at how skin-like that looks. Doesn't that look good? It looks so natural. And the concealer did a great job of covering my hyperpigmentation, but I didn't cover all of my spots, because this is a natural looking skin tint, so I just wanted to leave it like that. So that's what it looks like. Okay, it is, oh, 11:45 exactly. Okay, I have the rest of my face on. I have the KKW Camo Collection on my face, and that video should have gone out right before this one, so I will have that linked right here. But I did set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray because I do that every time I wear makeup because my oily, greasy skin. But I will be back in a few hours to see how this Fenty Eavesdrop wears on my oily, mature skin. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, it's 2:45. It's been 3 hours since I put on the Fenty Eavesdrop, and I thought I would show you in natural light what this looks like. I think it looks great. It's still on. I do still have some luminosity, but that's okay. It doesn't look greasy. I wouldn't say my oils have peeked through. This is just the highlighter from what I put on earlier. It has not settled into my fine lines and wrinkles or my laugh lines. So I think this is wearing great so far. Yep, so far so good. Okay, I'm gonna see you back in a few hours to show you how this continues to wear. Okay, it is 5:46. So I've had this Fenty Eavesdrop on my face for 6 hours. So let's bring you in closer. It has not been going into my fine lines and wrinkles here. It did wear off a little bit on my nose, but I was rubbing my nose, and it did wear off a little bit around here by my mouth, but that's because I had 2 meals since I recorded this. But I think the rest of it looks great. I do look a little bit oily, but for it being a skin tint, I think it looks great. Now, I have worn it for more than 6 hours previously, and I know I like it. Now, do I think it blurs the way it says it does? I think it does. I think it blurs. Now, right now, because I'm shiny, you can see more of my pores and stuff like that, but let's go ahead and take a blotting paper and go and try to see what the oils, after they are lifted up, what it looks like. And I think, again, because I don't have that oiliness to my face, it's back to blurring my pores. But I think this wears great, and I've worn it several times, and I've liked it every single time I wear it. So this Fenty Eavesdrop is a win for me. I also do like the Fenty Bright Fix. I think the best way to put this on is putting a little bit of it on your fingers and dabbing it on there. The way I tried to do it with the concealer brush today does not work. And the thing I don't like about this is it's hard to control how much comes out of the tube. But other than that, this was a win for me too. Okay, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video, and I'll see you next time.